lovely friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again on another beautiful day. Give me 1 second. I'm going to open those closet doors and see if it improves my audio quality. I think it might. I think it just might. Let me hear myself speak. Yeah. Man, audio, lighting. I think that's basically it. Maybe positioning, angles, as has been something I never really thought would be important. And yet, the more and more we've gotten into this year, the more and more I've become a perfectionist on this as well. It has been fun though, especially getting into a room to stream. You know, for some reason, I've been so kind of worked up with wind noise, and it's something that I don't know why exactly bothers me. Maybe just because I know, you know, I imagine what it would sound like on the other side, and then I get triggered on that level. And here now I'm like, oh, don't want to echo for the exact same reasons. So it just shows me, you know, there's gonna be something that I can find to like, trip about, to worry about, no matter what I do. So why do it at all? Why worry about these things? Why hurt myself with my own, is it mental neuroses? Craziness. You know, today's title is, Are We the Crazy Ones? Are we? Maybe we are. Maybe we're the crazy ones. Maybe the rest of the world is sane. I hope not. I really hope not. I am not this body mind. I am that one pure, unbounded, and undefined. I am in communication with every rock, tree, and bug. I am part of every time frame that has ever been. Hardcore one coming out of nowhere. Maybe that will be our intention. Just I am. You know, like there's this way of trying to find what the ultimate I am is. And it's basically found through this process of saying what it's not. You know, it's not this, it's not that, won't be that, couldn't be this. And it's like trying to paint a negative picture of something that you're trying to mention. But just the words, I am, have so much power. What follows I am follows you. I am. How are you, friend? How are you doing? How's life been treating you? Where has it been taking you? What have you learned from life as of late? The lessons that have been coming back to me over and over again is, like how much damage, if you will, we can do to ourselves on a mental level. How we can ruin our own life experience through holding on to things. How we can be calm in states which we never thought we could be. And that's been the lessons I've been receiving. How about you, friend? Anything you would like to share? Anything interesting? If not, no worries either. Thank you for joining me in this space, for being here with me. I'm curious. Like, usually by this time, Christian is home. So now I'm being the concerned other party, you know. And again, I'm realizing just how it's my own mental neuroses that gets in my way. I remember as a kid, you know, if you would be like wait for your parents to come and pick you up from school, the amount of negative kind of self-talk you can get yourself into, like, oh, maybe this happened, maybe that happened, maybe this bad thing is going on right now. And then like your parents arrive 10 minutes later and you're completely okay. They're completely okay. But in the 10 minutes that you were waiting for them, you built these entire, let's call them labyrinths, that you get lost in. You're like, oh, all of these things are gonna happen, all of these things might have happened. You start to imagine what your life would be like without your parents, without the person who's coming to pick you up. I don't know if this is just me, But like I've had so many experiences like that, and I wonder, you know, and I wonder genuinely if it's my kind of extremism, is that the word? You know, like instead of just being like, oh, maybe they're just running late, I have to go to the extreme of, oh, what if they were in a car accident? Or what if they this, what if they that? You know, like what why why go to the extreme? And then I kind of see myself going to the extreme in, you know, the positive aspects of life as well. You know, things that bring me joy, I'll also technically take to the extreme. And I'm like, okay, so it's just this, is this just kind of like the way of living that I can straddle with? And I just have to kind of find my own frequency, my own rhythm, that's the right word, within it. I am on the actual Garrick. So what's on the actual paper? I want to write two of them. Christian is back. Hi, Christian!
Huh?
I say hi.
How did you know I'm here?
I have super hearing. And I've been paranoid all day. Like it's this weird dynamic where these windows in my room kind of have this way of pointing down. So any sounds that happen on the floor level comes up, bounces on that window, and then bounces either down or bounces on the roof. And it sounds like there's people moving in the house. You know, and I'm like, bro, what's happening? Hey, Christian, you're a little bit later today.
Huh?
You're a little bit later today.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Were you like at work? Didn't you get finished with what you were doing?
No, I'm just, getting fucked by the work machine.
The work machine.
Like,
I'm having my friends that have to see this.
hard, but like,
Dude, did you win?
don't do work, kids.
Don't
It's not
do
good
work.
for you.
Yeah, stay a kid, genuine. It's nice to have you here. You wanna roll a joint?
Roll for the goodness of the soul.
I'll roll one now. So I have on the Garrick, Christian, help me here, dude. I have on the Garrick I am. What do you want on the paper? I am, what would you want? What do you want to be?
I am patient.
Oh, okay. I'm patient, I think I can do that. I am patient. I am patient. I feel, even though I'm saying I am patient, I feel like I don't have a choice. You know, it's not like exactly something that I, you know, have any choice in. Realistically, you know, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned of being patient, is that there is technically no alternative to it. You know, there's just, you have to be patient, and then you have to be patient. And me and him have been talking so much about patience and how, like, we feel like we're getting to a point where we're adults, we're patient, we know what's going on. And then we get faced with a new opportunity to see if we actually do know what's going on.
Patience.
Go again?
To express patience.
To express patience. Hey Lane says, I'm feeling very drained today. Ironically enough, it's because I'm not in the pit. I missed that show so much already, but I'm glad I got to see it. Man, Lane, I can imagine, dude. Now it feels like you're back in the world again, dude, after having experienced something so transitory. I'm happy that you got to experience that sensation, going to a metal festival, being in the pit again. But I'm happy that you're still here with us afterwards as well, dude. So, if you're feeling drained, you don't have to spend all your time here. But I hope to give you a little bit of energy if I can. I love you, dude. Thank you for the helpful award. Off Adarsh, the Leap? Leap? I'll call you Leap. Or Leap. I think Leap is better. Hey Leap, thank you for the help on my appreciate that, friend. Hey, Heather is here again. And Cordy Girl, hello my friend. Thank you for joining us. I am patient, is the intention of this joint. I am patient. Ooh. My title for today, Christian, is Are We the Crazy Ones? And how do you know? How do you know you're not crazy? Did I miss something? Who are being patient with? I'm being patient with Christian right now. Rastafarian. I'm not exactly Rastafarian, but I appreciate you. I do smoke weed occasionally. Isn't Rastafarian a whole religion at this point as well? Or is it just an ethnicity? Is it? Is Rastafarian a religion, Christian? Christian! I think you can hear me. No, I'm not a Rastafarian. If I have to question, I think I can guarantee that I'm not one. But I appreciate your feedback and your input, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Various Eagle. I think my mindset will be on patience and freedom today. Nothing to really be intentional with. No weed or water right now, but I can keep it in my mind. I agree completely, Lane. Like Lane went to a metal festival this weekend, and now he's back.
No water.
Well, I mean, no weed or water right now. Maybe he's just chilling, dude.
Oh, water.
Bruh, Lane doesn't need water. He comes directly from hell, dude.
I feel like water is very NB.
NB. Nooit belangrijk?
Molto bene.
Not to bene.
Molto bene.
Is that what it actually means?
Yes.
Bruh, I wrote NB like as like a grade 8, 9, 10-year-old next to shit. And I shit you not, every single time I wrote NB, I wrote it thinking it means nooit belangrijk.
No.
I'm serious, dude. Nooit belangrijk basically means like, in English, nooit is like risk, no, need, no, danger, no. Like you're in need. Ek is in nood. You're in need. And belangrijk means important. So, needfully important if you... And apparently it means what? Say it again?
Molto bene.
Noto bene. Interesting.
Don't quote me, I could be wrong.
He could be wrong, apparently. I wouldn't be surprised. Stupid little quip. Yes, it's religion. Apparently, Rastafarianism is a religion, dude. Not just an ethnicity. The more we know, Christian. Are you gonna join me to smoke this joint?
Dude?
Dude?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm done.
I'm calm, though.
I'm done adulting for the day.
Oh, man. Like, we had such a good weekend. And I feel Christian actually got to rest this weekend. There's the pillow.
You'll see. You'll see.
I'm vibing. I'm happy that you're vibing with us,
Oh.
mate. Let me move a little bit more.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, so much.
Oh, mahalo. Wishing you guys a lovely, peaceful day out there on planet Earth.
Oh shit, we're on Earth.
Another good one. Yellowstone hasn't exploded. We haven't been hit by a meteorite. No global war.
No aliens bombing us.
Seems like another good day in paradise, right?
Bro.
Woo! It's calm out here. It's quiet. Too quiet. Something's coming, bro. I'm still waiting for the rapture, to be completely honest.
Bro, like, I've been thinking about the rapture, like, from a realistic standpoint so much, dude. And I would be more sold if the shit wasn't so whack afterwards, bro. Like, have you actually read some of the stuff that's supposed to happen? Yassi, dude. That's even more concerning. I'm vibing. What are you all up to today? Like, we're gonna go and exercise directly after this. Well, I'll be damned if your friend doesn't sound so freaking sophisticated. He is the most sophisticated of people, I can guarantee. What ethnicity are you? He is down bad. Yes, he is down bad. I agree completely. Various Eagle. We are South African, technically. Well, I'm South African. He's Bulgarian. To be very specific. How about you, very
I'm pescatarian.
pescatarian? Dude, it makes me think of this fucking meme of like, I'm a lesbian. And this kid looks her dead in the eye. I thought you were American.
Oh shit.
Thought you were American. Yeah, we are omnivores.
I come from the Eastern European land of Bulgaria, one that is shrouded in mystery. Not many people know about it actually. It's kind of like Romania, but also Greek and Turkish influenced, which is like a combination of different things. It's very very cool. Um, I didn't spend much time in Bulgaria. I mean, I was just there since from being born to the age of 6, and then occasionally visited with family to see grandma and grandpa and stuff. So my roots are technically from there, but I'm mostly raised in SA. So
Got some of that essay culture in him, nonetheless.
got that SA hardcore positivity. They're like stare death in the face and laugh.
Yeah, we had to figure out how to do that because South Africa can be a little bit much sometimes, unfortunately.
Wow. This place is crazy, bro. This place is crazy. I mean, now I'm thinking of, well, not thinking, I'm
Planning.
planning my move back to Europe, actually Netherlands rather than anywhere else. And I mean, the thing I'm mostly looking forward to is just to be able to walk down the bloody street, you know, without looking behind me or to the side or like even being suspicious of old grandmas and stuff.
He's fighting demons. He needs a joint. Joint has been gotten. Yeah, let's take on that rapture, bro. Like, weirdly enough, if the rapture had to be a thing, I would want to be one of the beings that actually stays behind. Like the likelihood of me getting super fucked up, by something that's gonna try and kill me is very high. But just seeing those monsters, dude, what a trip that would be.
You can stay if you want. I'm fucking out of here.
Bro, you think you're gonna be taken?
Taken.
You're staying here with me.
I'm not gonna be saved. Jesus, please.
Please.
Please, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not going to church.
This is a beautiful hair club, JK. Y'all are intelligent as well. Heather, you flatter us. It's so nice to have you here again. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Our friend Various Eagle is Hispanic. It's nice to have you here. They look like they're having fun to me. Oh, we are Various Eagle. We have Edmund here again. Thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you, Edmund? How are you feeling?
Let me make my life a little bit easier. Maybe I could read these comments better if I have some glasses.
That would help, dude. That would be one step in the right direction. Like, that's one thing I realized I've been taking for granted, is just being able to see.
Eyesight.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Bulgarians, no, look it up. My son dated a girl from Bulgaria. Oh, she was beautiful, smart, and also weird. Yeah, can confirm. He's pretty weird as well.
Sounds about right.
We wouldn't have it any other way, though. Like, being a little bit weird is nice sometimes, Heather. Bulgarian girls are beautiful. Is that true, Christian?
It's pretty true, man. We got some really, really pretty girls. I guess I wouldn't call it conventional beauty, but definitely gorgeous in many aspects. Especially like the being able to hold a conversation. Like it's awesome with Bulgarian girls. You can talk for hours.
That's very nice. That's actually what we're looking for right now as well. Sensane is also moving to the Netherlands. Yeah, he is. Sensane is, I think, on the front page right now.
Ooh.
Send him some of our love if you have any to spare. Do you guys speak any languages other than English and Afrikaans? He speaks Bulgarian as well.
Speaking Bulgarian, tiny bit of Russian. Used to speak Spanish, completely forgotten Spanish now. Learned it in middle school. What else? I was in the process of learning Arabic from Ifrah. Unfortunately, those lessons came to a stop quite early on. So, practically say just English, Afrikaans, and Bulgarian.
I'm curious about knowing different languages, dude. I wonder if we quite literally have two different sets of neuronal patterns, or we have two different sets of neurons for these words, dude. Because technically, the way we remember things is just like a certain pattern of neurons firing together, and that pattern being the memory. And since we know more than one language, technically we have more than one pattern for the same thing.
Oh, it's terrible. Like the amount of things you could say in one language that are not translatable to another language. It's like the emotion behind it, the intention behind it, the tone, all of these things that just can't be translated. The culture, even. I mean, the background, the history. Um, it's mad. It kind of sucks. Like you try and show a Russian comedy to an English person, and you just directly translate the words. I mean, of course, the English people are gonna look at you funny, like that's not funny at all, you know. And it's kind of the same way with English as well. You translate that to Russian, and the Russians are like, these guys have a crappy sense of humor. And I
Does
think
does like languages like Bulgaria or Bulgarian and Russian have as many words in their vocabulary as well?
I think English has far more words.
Okay.
I think English has far more words, but that's because it was a lingua franca for a long time now. I mean, this language has been developed for years and years and years. So
They didn't speak.
uh, naturally, I mean, it accommodates a lot more other words from other cultures, like foods, for example. Like you call salami salam in Bulgaria.
Like we've had so many different influences in the English language in itself as well. Actually, like there's Sanskrit words in English. There's so much Latin and Greek. It's this amalgamation, and I'm curious. Do you think there's going to be a next language, or do you think English is going to continue going?
I think for a little while English is going to be dominating simply because, I mean, it's convenient and already most of our education systems are based off of it. So.
I think if we have a new language, it's not going to be one using words. At least not the way we use words right now. Like I don't think it's possible anymore. Like we're not going to be able to convey the same amount of information. Move to Liverpool.
Kobe to Liverpool.
Kobe to Liverpool. It's not quite so easy, Various Eagle. But thank you for the invite. What part of Africa are you in? Right smack dab at the bottom. South Africa, friend. I missed you. What's up, bro? And we've missed you as well. Edmund, it's nice to have you here.
Right on the tip of something. To be more accurate, it's a city in SA called Pretoria. It's pretty rad. It's a little bit better than Joburg. Doesn't have a beach or anything like that, but a lot of cool hiking spots. Cool like whitewater rafting. You got the Drakensberg, which is about 3-4 hours away. Okay, it's not that close. Shit.
I mean, in America it is, dude. 3-4 hours is not that far for Americans to drive. And we technically live in one of the biggest man-made forests in the world.
That is true. That is actually surprisingly true. We live in, well, we're next to Joburg. Pretoria is like also quite high up there in terms of forested cities. But yeah, basically like all of the streets in South Africa are lined with trees. All the houses have trees. If you have a garden, there's probably a tree in it. So I can say that for SA, they are crazy about their nature and keeping it as part of their living, their existence, which is
I feel
super cool.
Like there definitely is this understanding that we are very closely related and connected to nature. And there's a respect of that. Like, what do you think about what are we gonna call it? Let's just call it the psychedelic culture here in South Africa, because I do believe that there is
a massive psychedelic
big
culture in South Africa. So they are, funny enough, they are so accommodating, and I think it's actually part of the corruption. Like I think the higher ups that throw the Psytrance parties have connections.
Oh, they do.
That allow for these things to happen.
Yeah.
It's such a strangely peaceful and welcoming environment. The Psytrance parties they have here that like. They're quite remote. They're quite out into the woods, like into the mountains, like these valleys,
proper
and
nature
stuff, like
scenery.
proper nature scenery that has this sort of big pulled over canvas above the dance floor,
Just to keep
and
you a
then
little bit out of the sun.
speakers and the DJ booth.
Generators that run that stuff. You know what's curious?
But they actually go and they present you with the option to go for like a daily yoga class or a meditation session. It's really cool, and obviously they don't openly say like, hey, there's gonna be fucking narcotics at this thing or whatever.
Dude, I was gonna say something about that actually. I was thinking today specifically how there is no mention of it being narcotics. Every single time, think about this like properly. Every single time we were having a conversation at these festivals, they were considered and referred to as medicines.
Yeah, but the official way of
Mm.
designating those substances currently in society is called either narcotics or drugs.
I agree completely with that, but I'm curious specifically because of that definition that you just gave it. Like society understands these things as that.
Look,
But
it's
the
very
attention-
it's very easy to maintain society's mentality and say like, yes, what you're doing is narcotics and drugs and it's bad for you. Then of course you have the people that were in bad spaces and ended up doing these things through that, and them saying like, it helped me get through some stuff, it helped me continue on with life when nothing else was.
Dude, we have scientific studies
which
going
is
into
not an
addiction.
excellent reason to be using these substances.
Bro,
Horrible.
dude, you know how many people are on SSRIs right now?
I get it.
So like,
Yeah.
and these things aren't foolproof right now. We have so many studies going into psychedelic research with addiction, anxiety, and depression happening right now. And the stuff that we're finding is that it works fantastically for addiction. Depression treatments last between 3 and 6 weeks off of like a single dose. And we want to find out if we can extend that kind of like helpful period. But if you can tell anybody, especially if you've been in a state of like extreme depression, that you can have one experience and feel better for up to 6 weeks, dude, where you have to take like daily medication for like SSRIs to be actually effective, like that is significant, dude.
I don't know enough about psychiatric, no, not psychiatric, just medicine prescribed to you by your psychiatrist or whatever the hell else you use, your shrink. I don't know enough about those things. I haven't done my research. I can't possibly speculate on it. I just know from experience and watching other people do it as to what happens by observing their behavior. And in so many ways, it actually gets worse.
We have friends, that are using these SSRIs right now, and
Most of the cases I've seen, when they've been diagnosed and they have been given these pills, what I have seen in my own life, I cannot possibly speak for everybody, but from what I've seen from those close to me, from girls I've dated, from friends along the way, or just acquaintances, just common observation, it has made them develop even worse things. Made them like either fall deeper into the depression that was already pre-existent, or it's a temporary fix which changes their personality entirely, which makes them question themselves quite deeply, and that's what forms a new cycle of falling into a stump, taking medication, altering your state, wondering who's the real you, developing bipolarity, developing anxiety and anorexia even, because you don't feel like eating. That's another thing that those substances do, is they make you want to eat less.
they can cause erectile dysfunction, they can cause like insomnia as well, and they do all of these things, bro. And then, as you said, all of these things apply even more pressure as to what is wrong with me, why am I so broken, and you feel more and more broken, and then you're like almost dependent on this medication as well, just to feel something. And the thing is as well, SSRIs still are addictive. They are. Where we've had this conversation, like psychedelics are very much
they have to
anti-
wean you off
Yeah.
of the medication for you to stop it. That's mad.
That is mad, dude. Otherwise, you feel that you fall into even deeper depressions. But with like psychedelics, the way that we've, at least received use in our, immediate circles as well, is that it's anti-addictive. Like we had this conversation where it's like literally mentally intensive. It's like a challenge.
It's horrible.
It's a
sometimes.
struggle.
It's horrible.
It's like
It's
doing work.
honestly, it's not meant for fun, if I can put it this way. Like, these things aren't, in my opinion, they're not designed to just be used for fucking fun.
Mm.
You know, take these things and then
You're gonna have fun.
and then you just woo, woo, woo in front of like a bunch of strangers to very loud music. I mean, kids, bro. that's look. That's the shit that we had to do as well. We wanted to experience these things, and experience it we did. And obviously, like the older I get, the more like anal I start to seem to myself when I'm like, I don't think I want to go to a festival and take copious amounts of weird things and flip
Be
the fuck
around
out.
a lot of
Be a lot of other people that are heavily influenced. And it's just this weird interaction.
Yeah, the way that people look at you sometimes, dude. Hey, Quacking, it's nice to have you here. Like, I've had such weird, sensations of just being in a social situation, and every single person is basically on their own vibration, let's call it. And then
And
because
it's not bad.
yeah,
It's
there's
not
nothing bad about it, but because of these differences in vibration, there is just like this, what the fuck is going on type of feeling.
There's a lot of deep breathing.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. There's a lot of like, which is not necessarily a state many people want to be in.
No.
So,
And yet, I again, dude, like when people go into these spaces, they do, and I wonder, where the balance is to be found in this as well, is they call it plant medicines, but some of them, take excess medicine, for what like reason whatsoever, and I've now realized, especially, that it's not so much about the dose, but about the intention as well. Like, man, that makes a difference, especially if you go into it challenging.
So, there are many ways to approach these things, and I think the thing you end up facing is really just your own brain. If you guys haven't watched Dave Made a Maze, go watch Dave Made a Maze. It's freaking awesome.
It's a good movie. It's
It'll get you questioning things.
like we had a real profound thought. We were like, if an alien species had to come to our planet, we would show them that movie as an analogy for the human psyche.
Yeah. We would show them this movie to try and, in a very friendly way, explain what is happening within us. in like the most raw and true, but also like simplified version of like, yo, we're fucked up. We're fucked up in many ways, and we're all struggling. I think. Fuck, I wish humans could have a little bit more empathy for the shit happening around them. Like, if you could just take a second to breathe and realize some people are killing themselves with work. Literally killing themselves. Like, they're working all through the night and throwing away their youths and their health and all of that to be able to pay some bills because they gotta make a good impression at work in order to keep their position or try and go for a promotion, whatever the case. And this is the typical norm of adult life. And what is crazy to me is like, fine, if we have to live that way, we can live that way. If it needs to be that way, fuck it. We've worked ourselves into a corner, now we need to work more. But can we please, like, at least treat each other with respect and admiration? And I mean for everybody. Be it your local store clerk, your janitor, your super rich businessman. If we could all treat each other with a little bit more respect. Instead of looking at the rich man like he's a fucking piece of trash leech that got himself there through cheating or whoring or whatever the fuck you want to call it, look at him and say he probably worked his goddamn ass off to get there.
He's probably suffering
It's
still.
probably suffering as well, through a different way that you can't possibly imagine. And for the same thing, obviously, for the rich dude. He looks at you, sees like a guy with a stained shirt walking around, very, very like slumped shoulders, bags under his eyes, and he's like, Jesus, this guy looks like he fucking does nothing. Like he's just got no meaning in life. And meanwhile, you got like 5 kids back at home, trying to keep the wife happy, trying to bring in the money. All you want to do is just walk to your local store and get a goddamn coffee.
Yeah. He didn't have time to take a shower. And
Didn't have time to change his shirt because it's gonna get stained later anyway, you know. And people don't see these hidden stories. And the worst part is, you think you're smart enough to formulate all of this person's world.
build an entire person in your head into
You
nothing.
just
almost.
automatically label them, and you're like, this is it. This is what they are. That's horrible because I find myself doing it all the time as well. So it's gotta be human, man. It's gotta be human.
I think again, it's easier. It is literally your brain being like, oh, I can't spend all of this time actually spending information on imagining, this person's life, the potential of them having kids.
No, it's just you're
dreams.
walking down the street and you're like, ding, asshole,
Exactly.
ding, asshole, ding, nice person, ding, I would do anything to be with her, ding, nice guy, ding, asshole.
Easier that way, dude.
Uh,
And the weird part about it is that it's satisfying because we're these pattern recognizing systems. So we believe that we
yeah, but
recognize
check,
a
we
pattern.
we can simplify that pattern. We don't even have to assess, bro. You just bing, be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
again-
the entire set is covered.
Again, it's just recognizing, I believe, fundamentally the oneness of all of us. Instead of having this fundamental judgment towards another person or trying to sum them up in one way, be open to the possibility that they're just as vast as you are, because they are.
I've recently, it's been such a recent thought about like 2 months ago, I adopted this thing
Mhm.
where I see every other human being as an entire fucking galaxy, because essentially they are. This brain is ridiculously complex. That it's, what did they say, that if you expand it, it's basically like a galaxy or some shit.
So, just like the internal space being as large as the external space, like the expanding of the galaxy one is like if you look at an actual galaxy cluster, it has almost like the same patterns as neuronal growth. So our brain cells and the way that our neurons grow mimics entire galaxies' way of like formulating as well. And we believe that shit is because of dark matter, dude, being this underlying almost like substrate, such substance that the rest of the galaxy is lying on. And this stuff does shit, but we can't see it. We're like, oh yeah, there's about 80%.
There's
of
also
the
such a
stuff.
thing as dark energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
even more
I
weird.
found even weirder.
Like it's bonkers right now, dude. I don't think
Point
we'll,
is,
we'll ever
we're
be-
discovering things, and this is stuff that's not new. This is
Yeah.
like 1960s,
Exactly.
like discovered shit.
Like we
Even earlier.
we've been searching for the answers this whole time as well, dude.
And it freaks me out because we keep finding new stuff. We keep finding more and more new stuff. And I'm like, dude, eventually I think we're just gonna find that there is no permanent answer.
There is no
That
end to it.
everything, the rules just constantly shift. Gravity is 9.8 meters per second one day on Earth. Next, I don't know, 7 billion years, it's 10.7. And we've
Like-
set this constant in our mathematics.
I mean, the speed of light is very variable in that way, dude. Different mediums literally shift the speed of light as well. So, like, we have these beliefs that we kind of know what's going on right now, but fundamentally, our understanding of quantum physics and our understanding of Newton's physics, they don't mesh. They don't play together. And then we have these theories, of like string theory, for example. But it requires us to have 10 dimensions.
9,
9?
10,
I think it's 9 dimensions and a dimension of time, making it 10 dimensions. Like, it's these like absolutely bonkers understandings of our possible reality, and yet the more we look into, I feel, the metaphysics of us as human beings and our consciousness, the more these things make sense. And I believe that the next scientific breakthrough is going to be in that space, dude. I genuinely think so. I feel we won't make proper, like maybe if we have like AI, proper AI, then we'll be able to figure out those problems. But before that, I think, there's understanding of consciousness, or at least our place in it.
I don't see the problem with just living, you know.
There's no problem in any.
Like I think human beings have developed such a survival instinct that they're like, cool, if we lose Earth, we need a backup plan. So Moon is closest, Mars is better. And they're like they're making this shit up. I mean, thinking of this shit now, and I'm like, we really want to exist, don't we? Like
Human
we
consciousness
want to
continues.
exist so badly, and it's mind-boggling to me. Like I get it. At the same time, I don't understand the relentless desire for it, like the lack of acceptance for it. I can see the amazing willpower behind it, but doesn't that also mean that it would be so much harder for us when the day comes and we can't do anything about it and we all die?
I mean,
I guess it wouldn't make a difference.
exactly. Realistically, it wouldn't make a difference. Like, I can imagine, and we've had this conversation as well. Like, if we see, big ass meteorites coming at us, or like, a nuke warning or something, we're just like gonna sit down on the porch, look out on the nuke coming our way, just have a conversation.
Sip a milkshake.
Yeah.
Maybe drink some tea.
Like, where are you gonna run? What's the panic? What is it about? What's this? And I feel in that way, that it makes it harder to understand why there is this want to continue. Because there is this acceptance within us, and I feel that acceptance comes from a place of.
I feel like we speak this way now, and when we're faced with that problem, we're both gonna be like, oh my god, shit, we're about to die, okay, fuck. Like,
Bruh, like,
you're too busy thinking of all the shit that you need to do.
there's nothing that can be done though. And I feel that urgency happens to people on a subconscious level. Think about it.
I think you can't avoid the sense of urgency, bro. Like, that's the whole reason why I also wanted to have kids at an early age. Like at the age of 23, I thought I'd have a kid by now. That was the aim, kind of, throughout high school. I was like, find a girl, settle down, get married, have a kid by 23. Obviously, ridiculous plan in reality, but that was the plan. I committed myself to it, and I said, we want to make this.
This is the reality I want.
The real thing. And what was the point I was trying to make? What was the previous conversation? Never mind.
We were talking about expectations, you thinking that you're going to have all of these kids, talking about the acceptance of death.
Oh, the acceptance. Right, the acceptance of death. So I wanted all of these things to happen by 23 so that I could have the rest of my life to, do more. But like one dream at a time, and accomplish that dream as quickly as possible, and then move on to the next one, accomplish as many dreams as you can within this lifetime, right? And that's why there's this sense of panic and this urgency, because we want to be there for more things to happen and experience as many things as we can possibly experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, 23, fucking have a child, go. Dream number 1. What's dream number 2 after that? Like, one thing at a time, efficient.
So,
And then
I want to ask you that question actually. What is dream number 2?
become a writer, I guess.
So, like, maybe that needs to be dream number 1. Maybe the order is what's all wrong, dude.
Oh shit, dude. Becoming a writer is ridiculously hard. I will say that for those listening out there. I had no idea how hard writing was gonna be, and that's why I thought it would be more realistic for me to find a family first, because I'm gonna have to practice into a ripe old age before I can properly write, and that seems to be the
He's
case.
being way too hard on himself. He's a fantastic writer as is.
I want to be a phenomenal writer. And to do that, I need to practice way more than I'm currently practicing. So, we got a timeline we gotta stick to, and
Man, I think we're just hard on ourselves sometimes, dude.
yeah, maybe, or not harden ourselves enough.
You know, and it's the weird thing of like, oh, I'm fucking myself up and being hard on myself, and then it's like, bro, stop being so hard on yourself. And I'm like, okay, you know, where do I pick up? Where do I drop off?
Where's the balance?
Where's the balance exactly? Like, I'm so sorry for missing some of your messages. Tahoe says, hey Mel, love and peace. Made it to Tahoe and can smoke again. Joining you now. Thank you for joining us, my friend. So nice to have you here, Tahoe. Conventional beauty is overrated, and I take a good conversationalist over a pretty face every single time, Heather. I'm doing pretty well, Mel. Feeling much more relaxed today, at least. Been working much more lately, which is a major bummer, but necessary, unfortunately. Edmund, you're a fucking trooper, dude. I'm fucking loving that. Thank you for joining us. Cookie says, how are you? Thank you for the gold, Cookie Monster. I appreciate you. I can't see your comments, Lane, but I got a notification for it. I'm sorry to hear that my friends been kicking mine as well. You wanted to learn, hopefully your concert was a nice break. Lazy says, also, where is the finger bump? What's the finger bump while
From
passing
passing
the
the
dupe
dupe,
come from? I love the energy of that. I've been trying to bring more intention and appreciation to the
It's-
week. I'm so happy that someone saw
yeah,
that.
that is pretty cool that you noticed that. That's something we learned from an old friend of ours called Adam, and it's basically just a sign of thank you. It's like
A
a way
recognition.
without saying it. It's just like a fist bump while passing
Mhm.
the J. So when you pass, you do after pass
Just
you
touch
do a
it.
little.
Like, and the thing is as well, you can get
Spreads good
creative with
energy.
it. Like, if we're like across the room and you pass the joint, just like you'll literally you'll touch fingertips, you know, and then
But
it's,
you
it's
can feel
enough.
you can feel the energy behind there though. Like it can be the smallest of gestures, like a tiny little finger above. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
can
just,
translate already.
as he said, it's just this little bit of extra respect when you pass, and instead of just being like, here, take this thing, it's like a here, I'm passing you this joint, and then it's like a thank you for taking it, and then a thank you for giving it to me as well, all in one, non-verbally. Thank you for asking as well, Lazy Sunday. And like intention, we were asking about intention. We had on that joint written, I am on the little Garrick and patient on the little piece of paper. So we smoked it with those like feelings at heart as well. Yeah, the slang makes it difficult to translate. I took learning and memory and age has much to do with ability to learn multiple languages. I think that is true. You know, when were you, or how old were you when you started like taking Afrikaans on a school level?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Goodness, they really got you in early.
Yeah, they did. But that's why I passed Afrikaans in high school
That makes sense.
instead of just straight up failing.
Angela, thank you for joining us again. You've been missed, my friend. Oh, that's pretty wild. How cool. But there's also a genetic link for certain people to learn it easier. Are you the South African Bill and Ted? Yes.
I don't know what Bill and Ted.
You don't know what Bill and Ted is? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, dude. It's Keanu Reeves.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Dude.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called. Where's my phone?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, dude.
Is it really Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Be
I can't
excellent to each other.
I do know the movie though. It's a really great movie.
Rock on, my dudes. Yeah, we are. Thank you. I'll take
I
that.
hope we're
open
slightly
arms.
more intelligent though. Just a little bit.
Mildly. I mean, their unintelligence got them pretty far. Dude. Maybe we're overdoing it.
Maybe we gotta be done.
Yeah, that's the one thing we have missing. Heather says, as an American, it is confusing that South Africa doesn't regulate / ban drug culture and seems open to medical / therapeutic
Oh.
uses.
Well, it's not like they're open about it. These things are
I mean, weed is
labeled
legal.
as parties. They are outdoor parties.
And they sell
Nothing
alcohol,
more.
and that's apparently okay. You know, like I feel South Africa is coming around faster than other countries is in some ways though. So you are right, and then she feels, but seems so harsh and close-minded otherwise. Weirdly enough, Heather, it's not that harsh or close-minded. You know,
SA is super lenient.
it's just
Super lenient.
our government is taking advantage of our people. You know, like the same reason it's as lenient as it is because law enforcement isn't that serious. you know, and because law enforcement isn't that serious, there's an extreme amount of corruption. Because there's an extreme amount of corruption, people don't respect the government. You know, there's no.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's, so, but we live here and we love this country. We love the people that live here as well. Good efficient. Thank you for joining us. Joe Biden is here as well. As is Naren. Thank you for joining us, friends. So nice having you. Killer Tofu. It's been forever. We are talking about SSRIs for a little bit. We were best I've ever felt was on SSRIs, but it made me apathetic and it caused massive weight gain, so I stopped taking them.
Oh, so you had like the opposite of what we were describing.
I don't regret taking them though, because it helped me realize how much of my anxiety / paranoia was in my head. It was good to have my frame of reference changed. I'm guessing you're saying, looking cute as ever. Oh, Melina, thank you. No, you. She's the friend Rena that watches the podcast as well. She's like, your number one.
Sorry, it had to be done.
You see what I have to deal with? Steps of my dreams.
I don't regret
We could take them.
because it helped me realize how much of my anxiety was in my head. It's all
Like,
in your
that's
head.
the thing as well, you know, and we had that conversation before as well, Killer Tofu. It's a great tool if you can use it, you know, for a small period of time and then stop using them after having used them as a means to get out of those toxic mindsets. But when it becomes something that you have to take indefinitely, that's when it becomes a real problem.
Check his next comment. That's pretty hardcore.
Killer Tofu says, I know, Heather, that wasn't my experience with SSRIs. They didn't make me numb. I just constantly felt good and I was happy, but again, apathetic to other people's issues. I've never heard about that experience with SSRIs. I've heard about weight gain as something that happens to some people.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit weird, but I want to feel a bit down when it's appropriate. Yeah, fair enough, man. That's
Don't feel
there. Alan Watts said there is no wrong emotion, and he was. Yeah, I'd like to think he was completely right. There is no wrong emotion. There is just what you feel and how you choose to regulate it, how you choose to react to it. You're separate from your emotions. The body may feel them, but the choice is always yours.
You are the observer of him at the end of the day. Lane, thank you for the silver. And like Heather, we love you, my friend. Thank you for being rather in the feeling of it than, you know, trying to take yourself out of it. Can't have a genuine human experience without feeling all the feelings. Perfectly natural to want that, my friend. I agree completely. That is actually why I take medical marijuana from time to time. Instead of taking prescribed pharmaceuticals, I get to take a few moments to become aware of my thoughts and feelings and sort of heal, if that makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
A lot of people are adopting that method, man.
It is a more mental approach to it. And I find that smoking weed can let you be a little bit less harsh on yourself sometimes. Yeah, I'll stick to the diet, exercise, and occasional psychedelics. Much better than taking a pill every day. Killer Tofu has found the way. Yeah, especially what you said at the beginning of it. Diet and exercise. Those are the fundamentals.
You
to
take
get
care
down.
of the body, the mind comes along.
Absolutely.
It's
I have respect for everyone, as all have our own experiences. Maybe it's different meds, or possibly just that we react differently to the same one. That's, you know, both of those are complete possibilities. Heather, you don't take SSRIs anymore? I don't think so. Oh yeah, for sure. Not meaning to devalue your experience, just saying it worked differently for me. I was on Lexapro. My friends, I appreciate you so much for being so respectful of one another. You are genuine light beings. No, as good as I felt, similar to what you said, I needed to feel down occasionally. I didn't like that I started feigning empathy instead of actually feeling empathetic towards my friends and family. That's really interesting. As I said, still glad I took them because it helped me realize how much my issues are just in my brain. It don't actually matter, but I would not take them again. Don't I'm happy for you. Your experience is a great outcome, and thank you for, you know, showing us that that experience is a possibility. So, on topic, if crazy, the title is being crazy. If crazy also means eccentric, I'm it. I may be out of touch with the idea of others' reality, but I cause no harm being the crazy one. Is that something Is there something like sensibly crazy? That's a beautiful way of saying it, Maren. And thank you for joining us. Because like I feel maybe our friend group is reasonably crazy, sensibly crazy.
I don't think we're crazy. I think we're some of the few sane ones. In complete honesty, I think everyone else is crazy. Everyone else is on some high dose of, I don't know, fluoride from the tap water, or I can't explain it, but they like TVs a lot, and they usually like TVs a lot. There's a lot of, I don't know, going to stupid little holidays to like
The problem
Kruger
is
every year.
The problem is that they find themselves constrained in this working system, and this working system doesn't allow them a lot of time to actually spend with themselves. And then they find themselves spending time in the most enjoyable or experience-rich way that they can.
Look, here's the
And
path.
the easiest way.
Here's the path, okay? That practically everybody's following. You're born. You have a fun time as a kid. Go to primary school. Go to middle school. Go to, what's it called? High school. Graduate. Go to university. If you can. Go to university. After university or after school, go to work. Work. Retire with enough money, with a place to stay, and with kids. By the way, you should also, the second you get work, you should also get married and have kids. And then after the whole work, grow your kids up, you got grandchildren, retire, and die peacefully. That's the pattern you should all be following. Or at least that society is expecting you to follow.
Are you going somewhere with this?
Yeah, if you don't follow that, you're crazy.
Of course.
If you don't follow that, you're batshit crazy. There's something wrong with you. Because why wouldn't you follow that?
Yeah, it's so simple, dude. It works
So
every
nice.
time.
So nice. It's like, it's elegant, you know? Progress.
It's sophisticated.
You know, peak of life, woo, age, woo, out. It's nice, it's like a cos graph.
You know what the best part is?
Mm.
Is you spend time accumulating money to pay for your medical bills.
You're basically saving up the cash dollar you're going to need to pay for your failing pancreas. That is horrible.
It's so broken. You know, I genuinely believe by the time we have to be old people, this shit has to be fixed. Oh, like medical has to be fixed. You know, like it's going to be done by robots anyway. All of it.
It's a vending machine.
Yeah, you just like get a freaking heart transplant, dude. Like put one single. Well, there's probably gonna be no cash actually. Probably like a single
Dude,
dose
nanites. Nanites.
Dude, I don't want nanites.
10
in me, actually.
nanites, bro. You just swallow that thing, you poop it out the next day, but it kills everything that's bad in your body.
Ooh, dude, like technically you can have like an anti-cancer nanite.
Oh, how
like,
cool would that be?
comes full of your cancer cells. Bruh, like you go to like a urinal that you pee and that lets you know, oh, you have cancer traces in your urine. You're like, oh,
Your
okay.
toilet reports.
Yeah, get yourself a little
You've got AIDS.
anti-cancer nanite
shit.
pill. Just like knocks out the cancer.
And the toilet spits it out for you.
Oh, no, that would be a little bit.
I'd find it pretty.
That would be too direct.
Recyclable material.
It's too direct, dude. Because you're gonna get this. You're gonna get a pill from
Oh,
the
yeah.
toilet.
Yes. Yes. When we perfect nano machine technology, it's gonna be ridiculous.
It's not far away either. Dude.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh,
There's
goodness.
gonna be so much cool shit that we can do, man.
Dude,
So much.
proper AI, ridiculous.
When it self-replicates as well.
No,
that's
please
even
please
crazy.
stop with the self-replicating.
Yeah, you throw an AI into a distributed network nanobot colony, and then you just give it the ability to build other versions of it.
That sounds like we're gonna get nuked by the aliens. It's like, oh, you fucked with the wrong button.
No.
You should not have pressed that single button. We
They'll
do
just-
not fuck with
They'll take care of us
self-replicating
the same way
robots.
we take care of cats, bro. They'll be like, look at these fucking incredible beings, and we're just like, bitch, give me food.
Bruh, the
And then
problem
it's like,
is
here's food.
the problem
It's
is as
amazing.
soon as we make nanites, it's no longer gonna be just the cats that want to eat a little bit. It's gonna be the fleas that want to eat the entire universe.
Nah, dude.
It's self-replicating, so it's just gonna be like, oh wait, planet
Yeah,
one
but
conquered.
we can at least negotiate with it, whereas everything else can't.
Christian, please, dude. I feel the aliens being like, oh, they're fucking up. They're fucking up. You hear what he just said? I told you they're gonna fuck up.
Mr. Alien, if you're listening to this conversation right now, I would consider it an honor and a privilege if you could come down and speak with me.
Have a conversation with us. We won't tell anybody.
I would really love that. I would really, really love that.
Mind Enneagram is joining us as well. Says, I take my family down to the causeway and we watch the sunset. I always remind myself and my family that the sunset in front of us is the last one like it. That the day and that specific sunset will never be again. The beauty of impermanence. That's wonderful.
Slightly morbid, but true. It's a good lesson to teach your kids.
Is
but
it morbid? I mean, I think, imagine just
It's a bit it's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. It's like you
The
never
last
see one
time.
like that again.
last time you'll ever see it.
I was like, I really want to see it again, though.
I think that is what makes us more present, dude. We're like, oh, this is the
Maybe.
last time I'm gonna see it. I have
It's
to be
also
here.
melancholy.
I have to
Probably.
be here right now.
I guess that depends on the person. Maybe some appreciate that form of life. I get a bit hurt
I mean,
personally.
kids are not stupid, dude. I mean, kids can be like, yeah, bro, I feel that shit. I want to exist as a race because if we ourselves can't complete certain tasks as individuals, we want those that succeed us to be able to complete those tasks. It's completely selfish, but the selfish is to stay alive in the circumstances. I agree. I feel like you're making a statement. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything.
I think you just made a statement.
I feel it, dude. Respect. It's been read. Bro, what the fuck? There are two of them. Yeah. You know that thing where like the first like cell, single-celled organism was like and then split into two? Yeah, it happened, dude. We finally gained enough energy. Split into two beings. It's nice to have you, Christian. Next round around we're gonna be 4, dude.
You.
Then
4.
8.
Maybe that's how we fix the world. That was a joke.
I think the aliens will come for us if we do that as well, dude. They'll be like, oh, fuck, they did it as well.
I like the other comments of like, I feel like I'm looking at two versions of the same guy. One who tried mushrooms and the one who didn't. Which one is which? I'm genuinely curious.
The theory is that there's crazy, and then there is crazy. Oh, I like that actually. How can I be a troll if you ignore me? One king, I love you, friend, but I cannot feed you. I'm so sorry. But here. Anyway, Christian talking about the if only theory. I'll be happy when, but you never get the when. Because if you do, you change your ad on goals. Because imagine if you received all your goals and we're done, but then it does come off like a conversation between a guy and his own mind. That's why we have such good conversations. We have a lot of fun. And I agree completely with what you're saying as well, Heather. Like I've had this conversation so many times with Christian, where we talk about not setting these ideals, like these scenarios in which we're going to be finally happy. Like it's a little bit more of an understanding of
It does
where
have
we
to
are.
be something that you have to strive for, though. Like it's got to be something that drives you forward.
I mean, experience drives us forward, dude. Just being able to live this life.
Yeah, but you do want to achieve stuff, before you die. You live quite a while here in terms of just experiencing, with the abilities that you're given. Sometimes you want to achieve something, you want to make something, you want to stun the world, you want to have an effect on the things around you. That's why people did the things that they did. I mean, why they tried to stand out in any way they could. I mean, called it like a cry for attention.
So I was about to say, I agree completely with everything you just said, but I would also say in the same vein that there is no life more worthy, more valuable than any other life.
Yeah, sure, but that's why it's an argument with yourself. That's why you're like, what do I want to achieve in this life?
And that's the value you should have. Like, there's this analogy, like, I want to tell this little story.
I shall
Where-
return. You may tell your analogy. Go to the toilet.
I'll wait for you for a bit, dude. I'll read some comments. Come on, but interesting to listen to. There are 2 Bill and Ted's of bogus journey. Thank you for the wholesome Aaron Gray and for the wholesome Tahoe. I appreciate you, friend, so much. It's nice to see you again, Aaron. Thanks for clarifying about the government law enforcement. I'm so intrigued by other countries. Thank you for asking, Heather, for being open to hearing. No thanks on that law. The hubris of youth. I was you once. You will be me. Yes, that's the way it works, Aki. We keep going, my friend. I'm that shit then. We're the craziest thing ever, Edmund. I feel attacked, George. Oh, I'm sorry. Christian can be spicy sometimes.
Ah,
Huh? I didn't say you're spicy or anything.
the fuck you said?
What? I didn't say anything. Vending machine for a new progress. Charles, how many people in history were crazy but helped move society forward? Remember, it's only crazy if it doesn't work. Oh, that's beautifully said. So, this story, dude. This businessman basically walks up to a fisherman laying in his boat, and he's just like having a fun time, looking at the sunset, experiencing, the moment.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And the businessman is like, why aren't you, spending all of the sunlight you have catching fish? And he's like, oh, I caught enough fish for the day. I don't need any more. And he's like, well, if you catch more fish, you can start selling more fish. You can make more money. You can get a motor on your boat so you can get in and out faster, save more sunlight, catch more fish. Eventually buy yourself nets. And then if you have nets, you can maybe even buy yourself more boats. More boats with more nets, even more money. You can build yourself an empire. You can have more money than you can ever spend. The fisherman looks at him and he asks him, and then what? And the businessman says, then you can, relax and actually enjoy life. And he looks at him and he asks him, what do you think I'm doing? I mean, that's what it's about, dude. It's literally perspective. It's where you find yourself.
What do you enjoy?
What do you enjoy?
Put yourself in spaces that you enjoy.
Be your own kind of crazy. I don't know what this comment section is doing, but I feel schizophrenic. Sorry, Heather, it can be a little bit rowdy sometimes. The toilets convert the urine into a pill. You see, that's exactly what I was worried about, Christian. Ground equals salt, I was seeing as well, dude. The TM.
Oh, man.
You're good, ground equal. Thank you for joining us. Oh man, I'm just tracking up with the conversation between you two. Love you both. We love you, Jordan. Thank you for joining us. I agree, Charles. Both crazies contribute. It's just up to each which version is for them. Perfectly correct, Heather. No extensions. What is happening? If you can tell us, you win a prize, friend. If you can definitively be like, this is what's going on, guys. Sit down. This is what's going on. We'll start capping hands, bro. We'll throw a party. With my comment, I wanted to comment on your discussion on death. I always tell people death will be like it was before we were born. Do you remember anything before birth? No. So why would we live after death? It's an interesting topic. So I used to believe the same thing, Keldo, that it was going to be the same way as it was, before before we were born, and it's going to be the same way after we die. But the way I feel about it now is that we are this ever-permeating consciousness / awareness that kind of finds itself within a body. And the reason you remember things is because you have a biological memory system. And that's why you have an experience that you can recall in this life. And when you pass away, that awareness of / consciousness just continues onwards. And then it's not limited by the body's memories or limitations anymore. But that's me. That's just what I feel. You want to contribute your understanding, Christian?
I think life is life, no matter what form you take. So this is just it. This is the answer to infinity. You're currently living it. This life is exactly how it is. You die, come back, repeat the cycle, just in a different way. whether it be the universe dying of heat death and eventually the Big Bang happening again. It's like breathing.
Hmm. Those two will definitely start showering together once their Tinder dates realize how cliche they are.
What do you mean start, bro? Been
We've been
showering
saving,
together
yeah,
for
dude,
months.
we've been saving water. Oh.
He's cliche they are. Thank you, man. That actually gives me hope. I'm hopeful that the people out there are like cliche as
hell.
we are.
Yeah, please, you know. Like even more so sometimes, you know, that maybe like we can be the normal ones in the relationship. That would be nice.
We're normal.
But fuck yeah. Probably been asked 1,000 times, but Meld, is that your brother? By choice, yes, but by blood, no. The crippler.
I tried to kick him off. He held on too hard. He's strong. Yeah, it was a nightmare for months. But anyway, that's a story for another time. We need to quote.
Yeah, go exercise a little bit. Friends, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, the space that you shared with us. Christian, thank you to you, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
It was always so nice.
It's always fun to sit on the streams.
Like, please, you know, always feel welcome to friends. Like,
Love.
I know you friends love it too.
Love and
Aw.
peace out there.
Yeah, man.
Adios.
Love to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. I miss this space, and you've been missed in this space, Edmund. We love you, and thank you for joining us here again. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye, YouTube friends.